Hello and welcome to the full FX Unfiltered. This edition is in association with oneZero. My name is Colin Lambert. I'm publisher of the full FX, and I'm delighted to be joined by an old friend, Stephen Totten, who is head of institutional and quantitative products at oneZero. Stephen, lovely to see you again.
Yes, great to have you too. I'm sorry we're not doing it in person, but hopefully
Yes,
this version goes well.
yes. Well, we'll let viewers in on a little secret. There was a little bit of sickness involved in our original meeting, and now I'm sitting here being blinded by the London sunshine, which is quite remarkable. Um, Last time we spoke, Stephen, oneZero just announced the agreement with New Change. So it's very early days. We did a video with you and Paul. I thought it'd be good to get a catch up on, how that partnership's going, how it's been deployed, and just generally, how how things are progressing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 1.0, we're super focused on really just delivering the best possible service to customers. And that really means, we're very happy to partner with best of breed providers, right? Where we can add extra value to customers and help them grow revenues and volumes. Um, So last year, as you say, right, we partnered with New Change. We've done a lot of work to integrate their spot feed. So they've got this regulated benchmark spot feed. So great source of data, and that's integrated into our analytics to really help our customers drive that extra value. They can look at the reports and they can do a lot of detailed analysis on pricing and risk management off that reference data. So that's going very well.
Mm.
And more recently, been working with them on their forwards feed. So, swap pricing, we're used to spot trading, right? So it's easy, right? Just read the price off the screen. But the
Yeah,
swap curves are a bit more complex than that. And
we do acknowledge there is a thing called FX swaps, I think. Yeah,
yes,
just,
exactly.
yeah,
So really difficult to get that right. I mean,
yeah.
especially returns and special dates and things. And I think New Change has done a really good job there with really accurate curves. They've got a really good team that have helped put that together. So we love that data. We've been working hard now to integrate that into the platform. And we think as the swap market continues to electronify, we've got a lot of very cool stuff coming up right on that swap side of things with that integration.
And I think generally speaking, swaps is probably an area where it will be possible to genuinely differentiate over the next couple of years. I think in spot it becomes at the margins very often, doesn't it? But something like this, where we're still at the relatively early stage of automation, a differential like that can make a big difference.
Yeah, completely right. And obviously now we've got a little bit of movement in the markets as well. Interest rates are actually changing, right? So I
Yep.
mean, there's a lot of extra value, right, that banks can definitely drive from those swap curves.
Yep. Interest rates
Especially say
moving.
for corporate banks, asset managers. I mean, they do a huge amount of swap business. So having a great pricing feed in there with a lot of good tools to get that price out to clients and manage that is really important.
I just have this vision of the old bloke on the trading desk sitting there looking very satisfied with himself because markets have actually started moving in the forwards for the first time in a decade.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, Moving on from that, I guess even more recently, it would have been probably in the last month from when we're speaking.
Yeah.
You also acquired Autochartist. Can you talk us through what the thinking behind that is and what you're hoping to achieve, with that acquisition?
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing I'm really excited about. If anyone's not familiar with Autochartist, I'm really encourage you to go and look at their website. They've got some very cool stuff. I mean, fundamentally, they're a cloud-based analytics engine. It's constantly monitoring a huge range of markets and generating a range of different, news events and alerts off the back of that. So it could be tactical analysis, volatility information, economic events, this kind of thing. So as you know, sort of 1.0, we're very data focused. We really love incorporating data and using that to help our customers grow revenues, grow volumes. And I think the Autochartist toolkit is really powerful. It's got lots of great stuff in it. So it's still pretty early days, as you say, right? It's just a few weeks ago that we announced it, but we've got loads of exciting ideas how we can integrate all those cool analytics right into the platform and help drive additional value for customers. So yeah, that's a great one.
And it strikes me that the move actually allows you. I mean, I will confess to not being 100% au fait with Autochart's product, but I do understand the analytics and the signals. It does kind of put a different string to the to your bow in terms of how you're using and distributing and making data available to customers.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, historically, I say they've been very sort of retail focused, right? There's a lot of different alerts and signals and so on that our clients in that area like, to help
Yeah.
effectively generate trading ideas and so on. But yeah, I mean, we think there's a lot of value sort of in the institutional side as well of bringing in, well, even just think of say like, events calendar, right? Having that feed in automatically, right? Drive different pricing and risk profiles off the back of that. I mean, there's
Yeah.
loads of great things that we could do there.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess, specifically then we're talking about the hedgers at institutional level who often don't have access to this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's, there's loads of good things, right, coming up
Yeah.
there.
Good. Well,
We'll
it gives us,
have to have another chat, right? Once we got all that integrated, we can run you through that one.
I was about to say, this gives me my first question for next time we speak.
Yes, exactly.
Obviously, the other thing as well, I guess, from the last couple of years, speaking to you in particular, there has been that bigger focus on institutional push. So, what other developments are we seeing at oneZero? I mean, how is the institutional push coming, and what else are you guys working on?
Yeah, I mean, the institutional side is also going very well. We've got our banking customers and sort of hedge funds live on the platform and doing, good volumes through that. I mean, so sort of stuff that we built out last year, we had, a lot of work on the sort of RFQ side. We've got an SME front end, like a single leader platform that's more targeted at smaller corporate type clients that need, simpler workflows. So for our banks to roll out to their customers on that end. A lot of work on the portfolio sort of risk management system to help, banks warehouse and internalize their flow more efficiently. Um, Algo trading as well and the execution off the back of that, so they can gain more yields, right, from their executions. Analytics, right, another big thing they've been working on, right, as we've said, right, a big sort of area of focus of the company, right, to help our customers get more value from that, and also make it quite, I would say, the workflow focused, if that's the right word. So rather than just have, 10 different random reports you have to pull up and stitch together yourself, we really want to kind of have it a natural thing for someone sitting on the e-trading desk to use and pull up. And group the kind of main bits of analytics they would want together, for sort of LP analysis, for hedge analysis, client analysis, etc.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And we've actually more recently, another thing we've been doing is a lot of pricing enhancements too. So a lot of work to help banks monetize it a bit better, especially if you get customers that kind of maybe use the right parlance or like non-full amount.
yes.
So, try and help manage some of that more difficult flow a bit more effectively.
I mean, and I guess that is one of the challenges now, isn't it? Because obviously, with the volatility we're seeing in the market, this does become more of a challenge actually managing that flow. So the more help you can give them as quick as you can in the workflow process, the better, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely, right. And I guess sort of from a time in the markets and other people at the company, right, who spent a lot of time in the banking industry, we've got lots of good ways that we can help sort of democratize, right, all that knowledge
Yeah.
down to our customers and help them get more value from the flow.
Yeah. And I guess there's a nice circularity in the fact that you work with new change and the potential benefits from Autochartist will feed into this because it's a much broader customer set that you have now compared to some years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
yeah, very, very excited about how that continues to progress.
Good. So, just to dampen your enthusiasm, I'm going to ask you a question I've never asked anybody in the Full FX series of interviews, either on or off stage. Luckily, we do know each other well enough. Let's talk golf.
All
While
right.
our audience take this in, oneZero have sponsored one of the rising stars of the Ladies Professional Golf Association, Alexa Pano,
Yes.
who I have actually seen see play. Um, I just thought I'd ask you, what's the rationale behind that? What are you hoping to achieve, and what are you looking to promote, here in terms of, I guess, female participation in sport?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's one of the key aspects for sure. I mean, we're really proud to have her as a brand ambassador. I mean, we love golf at oneZero. I'm sure as you know from your time working with us, a lot of people at oneZero who love playing golf and watching golf and being involved with that. We spent a lot of time sort of looking at ways of developing that sponsorship, and we think Alexa's sort of a great choice that we've brought in as our brand ambassador. Great synergies with the company, which is Massachusetts native, right? So very close to our Boston HQ,
Yep.
which was important to us. I say female athletes, we're very keen to drive that aspect of things. And she's doing super well, right? We're just making a lot of waves in professional golf. And I think her journey sort of aligns with our mission, right, of driving innovation, right,
Yep.
is our marketing tagline there. And mix a bit of golf and finance in, to really bring that forward.
Yep. If
So yeah, we're really excited to have her working with us, and we think there's lots of events and so on that she'll be at going forward, and you'll see our logo on her stuff. And I'd also note, she actually won her first professional title a couple of years ago, 2023, and that was back. She won her title back in my hometown, actually, of Ballymena at Galgore Golf Club. So I don't know, I'm trying to work out some way I can take credit for like her winning
yeah,
that. I can't think of one. She's a great golfer, right? And done super well.
yeah, it's what I would say is if you really want to talk innovation, if she could turn me into a semi-decent golfer, that would be a miracle rather than innovation,
Well,
I think.
we can help with that, right? We'll try and get some lessons lined up.
I guess finally, Stephen, just to bring it back to business, or sorry, the business that we understand more, that we may be better at than golf. Just generally, have you got any observations on the challenges we are facing as an industry now with this randomized volatility? I thought it'd be good to just get your high-level thoughts on this. We'll be talking about this in Copenhagen in just over
Mm.
a month's time. But I mean, are you learning lessons from the technology? You don't have to tell us what the lessons are from the volatility we're seeing, but are we discovering a new environment?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, in some of the industry, right, in some ways, like thrives on volatility,
Yeah,
right? I mean, that's really right when markets, certainly the markets part of right businesses and banks tend to do them, to do the best.
yeah,
Um, you know, some of that unfortunately comes from sort of like very negative consequences, whether it be wars and conflicts and this kind of thing. And you do get these kind of randomized volatility events coming in. So at least now we're getting, in theory, a bit of volatility from, let's say, more geopolitics and this kind of
yeah.
side of things. And it definitely creates interest in the market.
From
A
a
lot of
technology
investment.
point of view,
Yeah, and
you can
technology, I mean, well, there's a few things, right, that I think we definitely have that can really help with that. So, number one, obviously, performance is key. Over events and sort of spikes in the market, you do get huge amounts of volumes going through. So, it's really important to have a system that can cope with that and make sure that you are a low latency, right, and you cope with the volume of data, but also have the right configuration and tools and sort of pricing and risk management setups that can dynamically adjust to those different setups and run sort of different configurations to allow you to kind of quickly shift these kind of regimes, right, and adjust to them. And then, as I said, like the data side as well, we have this huge data pipeline that again ingests all that data and
Mm,
allows you to go through post-trade and pre-trade,
yeah,
and sort of analyze that and work out how you can continue optimizing for this kind of new regime. So,
yeah,
it's not easy, right? But we think we have the toolkit available, right, to allow our banks to kind of really get the most out of this sort of set of market conditions.
yeah. Great. Okay. Well, oh, the sun's just coming out to blind me again.
Yes, indeed.
The weather gods are telling me to shut up, Colin. Stephen, as always, it's great to talk to you. I look forward to speaking to you on stage in Copenhagen in just over a month's time. Yeah, everybody, thanks for watching, and we will be back again very soon. Thanks a
Thanks
lot.
very much.